Last week I was on about airfix kits and how I think they're better than the Dapple ones because they fit together better. Well, I was having a nose in Lord & Butler's. I found this guy. This is an airfix meat wagon and it dates from 70s, 80s. It's about 50-ish years old. I paid £5 for it and it's the complete kit. So I figured it'll be a bit fun to actually see me building a kit because I've been on and on and on about so much about these old airfix kits recently. I think these are great budget wagons. I think they're truly the best you can do if you're on a budget because a lot of people sell them for dirt cheap. I paid £5 for this kit complete and they had a lot more in there, assumably all complete. I think they had like 5 meat wagons and 3 mineral wagons, all complete kits, all in their boxes, all for £5. The detail on these I think far supersedes anything you can get from the Hornby Railroad range. This is one of the vans from the Railroad range and it's fine. You know, dirty it up, you don't really notice that it's a railroad wagon. However, I think this is going to be a lot nicer than this guy. They're both fine, but I just think the airfix will be just a little bit better because I really do like these airfix kits. I keep going on and on and on about them, but it's because they have their reason to be loved so much. So instead of listening to me just complain about how I think wagons are too much, how about I just build this and I'll show you what it's like. Before I go any further, I just want to say how gorgeous I think this box art is. I really do like these old boxes. I think these boxes are a lot better as well as the current bags you get from Dapple because afterwards you just chuck some tissue paper in here and you have something to protect your van. In here we got a sprue, another sprue, wheels. I'll change these out for metal ones. The roof, 2 elastic bands, the frame, that's an air compressor part I think, and the other end. You have some transfers. These are all just running numbers. I really do like to give you running numbers, that's a nice touch. Finally, we've got the instructions. Truth be told, I'm probably going to ignore most of this and just sort of work it out as I go along. You can see where those elastic bands go here. You only really need the one elastic band just so the couplings can return to center. I'm not going to use any of the couplings, I think they're a bit shit, for lack of a better term. At the bottom here, they give you the colours that they recommend painting it with. Truth be told, I'm going to leave it in this nice red colour. I kind of like it. I will dirty it down though so it looks a bit better because I think it'll look really neat and train. It'll stand out as like this really eye-catching wagon. I have got another red van. This is a Hornby one. This came from a breakdown train set with an N2 in it. I really like this. I don't really run it with anything else because it's departmental stock. It's like a better version of this van. I really do like it though. I like how clear and obvious all these illustrations are. You don't really need any of the text. So I don't need you. Couplings are on the sprues. I don't need you, and I don't need you. I do need a pair of wheels, so I've robbed the pair. I'm going to start by pinching all the stuff for the chassis. I'm going to cut them off the sprues, and then I'll start building. Sometimes when you cut the pieces, you get this little bit of sprue that comes off as well. I'm just going to take my knife and just trim that off. Now I look at it as well, that isn't supposed to be there. Ooh, that flexes a lot. Just realised my head's probably in the way. There we go. The glue I'm going to use is going to be the Revell solvent based stuff because it's what I've used on my plastic kits before and it's done fine. Got the chassis, put a drop of glue there. Brakes are already in. I've got the air compressor part and yeah, it's going surprisingly well already. Right, I'm going to give that a second to dry because the way they say to do it is you put this piece on here, then you do both the wheels, and then you put this side on. So I'm just going to give that a chance to dry. I'm going to do it the way it says, just so I know the spacing for the frame is correct. I'll remove the wheels afterwards, and then once the whole wagon's built, start painting the chassis. Just while I've been waiting for this to dry, I'm actually looking at the instructions, and they actually give some wagon history, which is a really nice touch. The 10-ton ventilated meat van operated by British Railways is a direct development of a van used by the former LMS Railway. A batch of the British Railway vehicles was built by Wolverhampton Workshop in 1952. The van makes maximum use of standard components and its underframes is in fact identical to that used in the 12-ton ventilated goods van. The body differs externally only in the additional ventilators used on the meat van. The maroon colour scheme shows that the vehicle is used for fresh meat and the XP code designates that the van is suitable for running in passenger trains. and then it's French and German. Pretty cool. They give you, nice little other bits of information. There's some technical stuff down here as well. Put in the blue one, put in the blue one. I glued up the van. That can go there to dry. While I wait for that to dry, I'm gonna build up the buffer beams. Little bit of flashing to take off there. So just run the knife across. I only showed the one buffer beam. There's not much point in me showing both. It's gonna be the same thing both times around. Slice, slice. I'm just gonna do a drop of glue actually on the inside. And that's way too much. I forgot how strong the fumes from this are. It's stinking out this whole room. Got some nice coupling hooks. I really like these. They're a really small inclusion, but I think they really do change the look of the wagon. Yes, they look a bit crap, but you also don't really notice as soon as the van starts running. I might have to take them off because they might get in the way. I'll put them on for now. Okay, that's jumped on the floor. Oh, I know realistically I should be dry fitting everything first before I fit it, but I don't really care that much. If you are building the kit though, I do recommend dry fitting. It's just because I'm impatient. And there's the first buffer being built. This then just slides onto the end and just completes the look of the wagon. The nice thing about this kit, everything's sort of spaced in a way where it all forces itself into the correct spot. But we got a chassis. I still need to put these on. They can sort of just wait for a minute. While I wait for the chassis to dry, I'm gonna sort out all the sprue on this because I know there's gonna be sprue. A nice thing is you can fix the doors in two separate ways. You can have it so they fix shut, you can have it so they're fixed open, or you could have it so they swing open. I'm just gonna have them so they fix shut. It's gonna be the easiest way and stop me from having problems later on down the line. When you're building the vans, there's actually little guide marks on the back which help you build them. So it's impossible to get these wrong. There's a little chamfered corner. Put the chamfered corners together and the guides inside stop the walls from moving around. So it's all fixed together nice and strong. I'm going to put the doors on now just so I don't have to deal with them later. And I'm going to use the box as the reference for which way around they go. So this is the right wall on the box. The lock's at the bottom, so I need the lock at the bottom and this bit of bracing to come from this corner to that bottom there. So these two are a matching pair. I've got no clue how these go together. How's that there? Oh, they just click together. I broke the hinges on this door. They will not click onto the door. So I'm full-sided shut anyway. Need to be a bit more careful now because if I get glue on the front of this van, it'll forever show. Here we go, that side's now drying. I'll give it a second, build the other, and then glue it on. There's a weird manufacturing defect on this piece though. There's supposed to be two pieces of plastic here to sort of keep everything centered. The top one's missing. I'm going to glue the roof on before I fix the other door on. These are still loose as well, but I just wanted to all be a bit more rigid before I start messing about them, because where I'm moving these, it's sort of throwing the whole van out of whack like this. I'm going to glue it, then fix it. I'm going to add some weight to this van because it's really light. A little bit of lead, hot glue it in, then I'll hot glue the doors behind it. Hot glue, hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. Ah, it's stuck to the wall. There we go. I'm going to hot glue these doors shut so they can't move, which probably not the best idea I've ever had, but hey, my trains, so what I say goes. Time to do the same thing on this side. Glue this guy in. There we go, just give that a second to dry. And got a fully built kit, and it's just time for paint and weather. For the roof, I'm going to use this stuff. It is Revell Black, and it is amazing. Gonna switch to a smaller brush now, just so I can get the size without ruining everything else. I think the roof could use a second coat, but I'll wait for it to dry before I do that. Also while I'm here, I'll pick out hinges and stuff just so they stand out. Something I've just realised is the vents on both sides are in the way of the vacuum pipe, so where I've put it on, it's knocked it off. It's a bit of a dumb design, actually, so it's not going to have vacuum pipes. And I'm still suspect of those couplings. Odds are they're going to have to come off. Probably would have been easier to paint the roof when it wasn't connected to everything else. I do recommend you do that. You paint parts individually. For the age though, this is a really nice kit. It's only minor little foggles so far, like that door not fitting, the weird molding defect, and the vacuum pipes not being able to fit on this. It might be a bit obvious there's no actual hinges this side, but we'll see how that goes. Actually looks a bit better than I was expecting it to. Right, I'm going to switch over to the crappy black and paint the chassis, and then hopefully be able to do a second coat on the roof. Scary bit now, seeing if I can actually take the wheels out. Yeah, easy. Here we go. It's going to be the same thing as last week, so I'll just skip over this part. I've finally finished painting the chassis. I've got some couplings on. Still a little wet under there, but we'll turn a blind eye. And I'm actually really happy with this so far. I'm going to put the transfers on, and then I'm going to dirty this thing up, and then we'll have a complete wagon. The instructions here show where each thing goes. There's your running numbers. This is for fresh meat only, XP, and some other stuff. So I'm going to cut them off this sheet, put them in some water so they're all loose, and then put them onto the wagon where they need to be. Put that in the water. Ideally it should be warm water. I've left the water I have standing for a bit, so it's not going to be the greatest in the world. It should hopefully still do the job just fine. I don't know if that's enough to loosen them up, but I'll find out. This is 50mm paper, so I won't be terribly surprised if it chooses not to work. There's the first transfer on. While I wait for the next one to soak, I'll do the other number, just using the tip of the knife to pick up the transfer. Be really careful that I don't damage it. Fine as all the transfers on now, and hopefully none will come off with my fingers. So I'm going to start weathering it. Starting off with heavily watered down black just to try to pick up some details on the van. It just sort of works its way into all the little crevices and just helps highlight some of the details that are in there. It doesn't need to be brilliant as long as it highlights some of the details. Be very careful where these transfers are, because I know they will move again. Especially when I get all by these vents here, because that would be a great place for all the grime and stuff to build up. Big thing for a minute is just waiting for it to dry so I can start moving on to the next step. I also want to try to get rid of some of these bubbles here, because they will leave all sorts of weird effects afterwards. Oh, in the end I have to take most of the chain off to get these couplings on. The transfer is gone. It's not on my hands this time, so I genuinely don't know where it's gone. So we're not going to have whatever was supposed to be down there. That's gone forever. I'm just going to start running my finger over the van to take away some of the harsher bits. Where the vents are, I'm going to do a little extra weathering on them. I think they look a bit too clean. The only thing I'm really doing now is just give this van a minute to dry. And then once it's dry, I'll start using weathering powders. I want to come on to these corrugated ends here and here with a bit of brown, just so it looks a bit rusty. But until then, I need the van to dry. Just going to take a little bit of this brown and just gently put it over the corrugated ends, just to look a tiny bit like rust. Put a little bit over the vents as well. Time to bring up my best friend again, the magical black powder. And I'm going to start off by just putting sprinkling across the roof, and we'll work our way down the van. Just run a finger through to take some of it off. I've got most of the wagon weathered now, just with the black powder. I'm going to come in and add some colour, mostly just rust on the frames, a little bit on here, and a bit of dirt here and there. And then I'm willing to call it done. Weathering powder, where is that weathering powder? Okay, that number just blew straight off. And here we have the finished van. It's not my best weathering work in the world, but I'm happy with it. I really like how this came out. For only £5 as well, might I add. This was a £5 wagon, and I'm absolutely thrilled about how this looks. It's a really different piece of rolling stock because of the colour, and I think it'd be great to see this running on the layout. So, how about we do just that? I go chuck this in a couple of rakes, and we just see this little van running about the layout. The airfix meat van. I loved it. I really enjoyed building this kit. The transfers pissed me off a little, but I'm willing to put that down to age and like all the glue's just gone a bit funny. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a nice kit. It went together pretty well. The only real problem I had was the one door breaking off. Coupling wise, they're not great. If you buy the modern Dapple version of this kit, it'll come with the correct couplings along with the originals. If you can find one of these for a good price, I highly recommend picking it up because it is an enjoyable build and they look great. Compared to the van from earlier, I think these have a lot more nice details on them, especially on the end with all the vents. I think that's where this van really does shine. I might have gone a bit mad with the weathering, but hey, I don't care, it's my van. Yeah, it was this guy's wheels I rolled in the end. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I upload every single Saturday. I hope to see you next week. Bye bye now.